Well, we've always heard these sovereign citizen arguments. I'm just going to pick one at a time from here on and have a little fun with it. Let's suppose that the sovereign citizen is in trouble because he was caught speeding in Oklahoma. So let's go ahead and take a look. We don't take too kindly to speeders here in Oklahoma. So what does it say? Any person driving a vehicle on a highway shall drive the same at a careful and prudent speed, not greater than, not less than, is reasonable and proper, having due regard to the traffic, surface, and width of the highway, and any other conditions then existing. No person shall drive any vehicle upon a highway at a speed greater than will permit the driver to bring it to a stop within the assumed clear distance ahead. And of course, the sovereign citizen says, wait, how do you know that this law applies to me? Right? And of course, the judge is like, what the hell are you talking about? If you can't show that the law applies to me, then you can't convict me of this law. What's wrong with this argument? Well, just about everything. Hello out there. I am trying to get through.
Waves cradled in the warmth of reasoning. It's time for Johnny Walker Dread to straighten you out on a thing or two. Emanating all the way from exciting Las Vegas, Oklahoma, it's the Johnny Walker Dread Show.
Okay, here it is. The judge says, you got caught speeding, boy. You're going to go up the creek. And of course, the sovereign citizen comes back and says, do you have any proof that this law applies to me? Says any person. Well, I'm not a person. Okay. So what do you do if you're a judge and you hear this? It's really simple. And I'm afraid you judges have been missing the boat here. This is a golden opportunity to have some fun. And all you have to do in response to this is just turn to the bailiff and say, they're Rusty. I don't like his attitude. I don't like these ideas and these expressions in speech that he's been given in my courthouse. I think we need to send him to jail. Of course, the sovereign citizen's like, what? Go to jail? I'm only just telling you my opinions. Oh, listen to that there, Rusty. He's arguing with me. You know what we should do? I need you and the boys to go down and break into his home and see if he's got any guns in there. And if he's got any guns in there, I need you to arrest him again, and we'll throw him in prison for a few more years. And of course, the sovereign citizen's like, what? You can't do that. That's a violation of my rights. And you're a criminal for violating my rights. Oh, really? Okay, what rights are we talking about? And of course, the sovereign citizen says, I have a First Amendment right to free speech, and I have a Second Amendment right to own guns, and a Fourth Amendment right against unreasonable searches and seizures. Oh, really? Do you now? Well, let's take a look here. It says here, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people to peaceably assemble and to petition the government for a redress. I don't see your name in here anywhere. Do you have evidence to show that this amendment applies to you? I don't see your name in here anywhere. Let's move on down to the Second Amendment. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Well, people's a plural for person. Are you telling me you're a person? I thought the whole dealio that you were here was to convince me that you're not a person. And even if you were, you're not mentioned here explicitly. How do I know that the Second Amendment applies to you specifically? Your name's nowhere in there. And let's go to the Fourth Amendment. The right of the people, to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures. Gee, you'd be right if you were a person, but you claim you're not. And even if you were a person, it doesn't say you specifically. You're not mentioned anywhere in this. So it looks to me like the Fourth Amendment doesn't protect you. Oh, and by the way, you can't do anything about me because you're claiming I broke the law, but have you provided any evidence to show that the law applies to me? If I recall correctly, all of the rules of courtroom procedures and all that, they don't mention my name anywhere. And neither do any of the statutes or the case law. I'm not named specifically, therefore the law doesn't apply to me, and therefore I can do whatever the hell I want to you. Rusty, take that jackass out of my sight, throw him in jail. He can play with Bubba. He can rattle the cage with his cup. He can do whatever he wants. The whole argument is so stupid. I mean, it's beyond dumb. Of course, the law doesn't mention you specifically. It's understood. And of course, if somebody murdered you, you would probably want me to go and convict that killer. But there's nothing in the law against murder that mentions that person by name either. He can simply claim, hey, law against murder, can you prove, as the prosecutor provided evidence that that law applies to me? And I'd have to say, oh, you're right, I guess you gotta let him go. And remember, that person, well, that's a straw man, right? That's that fictional character that's written in all caps on your birth certificate. Well, maybe that person, that fictitious entity, is covered by the Constitution, but you, the man of the land, is not. And by the way, you make a big deal out of being a man of the land, but the word man doesn't show up in the Constitution, at least not in the Bill of Rights. So I'm just thinking that quite possibly the Bill of Rights doesn't apply to you. Now how does it feel, asshole? You still want to play this game? Okay. You can play it from your prison cell. So yeah, sovereign citizen argument number one. Can you prove that the law applies to me? It's a dumb argument. And all you sovereign citizens out there, it just makes it harder for us to take you seriously. Like my video and subscribe to my channel.